Did Israel just launch a war inside Iran? That's the question echoing across newsrooms, government war rooms, and living rooms around the world tonight. The answer is more complicated and more explosive than anyone could have imagined just days ago. This isn't clickbait or a drill, this is the largest, most direct military confrontation between Israel and Iran in modern history. For decades, these two regional powerhouses have fought in the shadows. Now the conflict is out in the open, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Tonight, Tehran is under attack. Explosions have rocked the city, and reports confirm that nuclear sites, long at the center of global tension, have been struck. The world is watching, holding its breath, as the situation teeters on the edge of all-out war. Here's what you need to know. In just 3 minutes, we'll break down how we got here, what's happening now, and what could come next. First, let's rewind. How did we reach this boiling point? For years, Israel and Iran have waged a shadow war, assassinations of scientists, cyber attacks, and proxy battles stretching from Syria to Lebanon and Gaza. Each side has tried to weaken the other without sparking a full-scale war, but everything changed after the 2023 Hamas attack in Israel, which left over 1,000 Israelis dead. Israel blamed Iran for orchestrating and funding the assault, and the gloves came off. Since then, the region has felt like a powder keg with a lit fuse. One wrong move, and everything could explode. Tensions have been sky-high, with both sides trading threats and preparing for the worst. But last week, the situation spiraled out of control. A series of events pushed both nations past the point of no return. In a stunning escalation, Israeli warplanes launched a coordinated wave of airstrikes deep inside Iranian territory. They targeted the heart of Tehran, top-secret nuclear facilities at Natanz and Fordow, and key military command centers, strikes that sent shockwaves through the region. Israel's military used advanced electronic warfare to jam Iranian radars, disabling dozens of air defense systems. For the first time, Israeli jets operated with near-total air superiority over Iran's skies. But Iran wasn't caught off guard for long. They retaliated with force. Within hours, Iran unleashed a barrage of ballistic missiles, targeting Israeli cities including Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, and Haifa. The night sky lit up with missile trails and explosions, as millions of civilians scrambled for shelter. U.S. forces stationed in the region joined Israel's missile defense, intercepting the majority of incoming rockets. Still, some missiles broke through, striking oil refineries and residential areas, leaving over 20 civilians dead and dozens more injured. In Iran, the Israeli strikes were devastating. Hundreds were killed, including high-ranking military leaders and nuclear scientists. The loss of these figures is a major blow to Iran's military and nuclear ambitions, and the country is now in mourning and outrage. The fallout was immediate and global. Stock markets plunged into chaos and people everywhere crowded around screens, desperate for updates as the crisis unfolded. Oil prices surged more than 10% overnight, sending shockwaves through the global economy. Gas prices spiked, and energy markets braced for further disruption. The United States publicly called for restraint, urging both sides to step back from the brink. But behind the scenes, American forces played a crucial role in intercepting Iranian missiles and supporting Israel's defense. The G7 convened emergency meetings, scrambling to find a diplomatic solution. Meanwhile, the United Nations Security Council was paralyzed, unable to agree on a response as the world watched in alarm. Diplomacy has ground to a halt. Embassies in both countries are shuttered, diplomatic channels are silent, and both Israel and Iran are vowing revenge, fueling fears of further escalation. Iran's supreme leader has gone on national television, promising painful retaliation. Israel's military leaders are vowing to escalate even further if provoked. The rhetoric is fierce and neither side is backing down. Ordinary people are paying the price. Highways out of Tehran are jammed with families fleeing the city, while in Israel, daily life has ground to a halt as air raid sirens sent people rushing to shelters. With top military commanders dead and nuclear negotiations cancelled, the world is left wondering, is this the start of a much wider Middle East war? The diplomatic vacuum is deepening the crisis. Right now, both militaries are on high alert, bracing for whatever comes next. Troops are mobilizing, defenses are being reinforced, and the threat of further strikes looms large. Is this just the beginning of a new, more dangerous era in the Middle East? Or is there still a chance to pull back from the brink before it's too late? The world is watching, hoping for a miracle, hoping that someone, somewhere can pull the region back from disaster and restore a fragile peace. For the latest updates on this global flashpoint, hit subscribe and stay tuned. We'll keep bringing you the facts as this crisis unfolds. Because in a conflict this volatile, the next strike could already be in the air, and the world may never be the same.